On this week's edition of RV News Headlines, we got three big stories for you. One is on a pretty big recall for Winnebago and a really small recall for Coachmen. RV shipments continue to normalize, but there is a nearly 50% decline December 21 to December 22. We want to tell you about that. And good news is bookings for 2023 are way up with new demographic information coming in. You don't want to miss any of that. Let's get into it. So our first story comes from a recall list issued by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. I'm reading from the list. This affects only 12 Forest River Coachmen motorhomes, and it's the 2022-2023 Galleria, the 2023 Coachmen Beyond, and the 2023 Nova motorhomes equipped with the SDS2 two-burner drop-in cooktops, propane cooktops. So a very small number, 12 units overall across those three brands by Coachmen. They are expecting letters to go out to owners on March 21, 2023. So not too far away. If you have a very specific serialized product that this is affected, you'll hear from Coachmen very soon. A much bigger number comes from Winnebago Industries, and I'm again reading from my iPad from the list. So listen up if you have a 2020 to 2023 Solis, a 2021 to 2023 Travato, and the 2022-2023 Ekko motorhomes that are equipped with certain Suburban manufacturing SDS2 two-burner drop-in propane cooktops. Apparently there's a propane connection on both of those products made by Suburban in the Coachmen and the Winnebago. Again, all the details down below. Winnebago is putting out the letters on March 24 to those owners that have affected units. There is 9,720 Winnebago motorhomes are affected by that Suburban propane cooktop. Check the information below, watch for letter, and take action if you are affected by that recall. Our next story is about 2022 RV shipments, the third best year ever on record. And I want to share some numbers with you. It's pretty amazing. Although there was a 50% decline year over year, December to December, 21 to 22, 50.7% decrease to be specific. In December of 21, there was 40,347 units shipped. In December of 2022, it was 19,907. So the industry continues to normalize, but with some of the headwinds that we've all read headlines about, 2022 was the third highest ever shipments of RVs in the United States, with 493,268 units shipped, which is pretty incredible. Now that is a 17.8% decrease 2022 over 2021, but 2021 had a record of 600,240 units. And if we break it out by class, the towable class, which would be fifth wheels, teardrops, and towable trailers, it was a 54% decrease in the December to December period, and motorhomes had an 8.8% decrease. So motorhomes, and that would include camper vans, are staying pretty strong across the board. The link is right here for you. Click that down below in the show notes. You can get all the details for that news story. But very impressive results from the RV industry. Third best shipments ever, and continuing to normalize, which is probably a good thing. What do you think? So our last story for this week's RV News Headlines comes from our friends at RV News Staff, and it's regarding Campspot. They're makers of campground reservation booking software, and what they're reporting is a 130% increase in reservation demand. Reading from the article here, there's a couple things to point out, and that is that younger RVers are making campground bookings. Site visits to Campspot increased 140% by the age bracket of 18 to 34 years old. And reservations for spring 2023 are actually ahead of last year's spring pace, 35% ahead of last year's pace to be specific. And demographic overall from the 2022, which was a peak season for the booking software company, the fastest growing demographic age category was 34 to 44 years of age, and the second fastest was 18 to 24 years of age. Now what they're saying is that the online booking software itself is helping spur reservations because those younger folks, they expect a digital, app-based, certainly a web-based booking reservation experience, not the old way of picking it up and making a manual phone call to a campground and using some manual calendar, write it down on paper situation. So some really good news in the RV space. Summarizing this week's RV News Headlines, there was more normalization of the RV unit shipments, third highest ever on record. Bookings are way up over last year, pace of, and some pretty big numbers on recall, particularly in the Winnebago space, around a specific Suburban branded propane cooktop. Hey, if we're meeting for the first time, howdy. My name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the camper van travel experience. Just completed 4th year full-time travel in my Winnebago Travato. That'd be starting year number 5 of full-time living in my camper van. What we do here is we try to help you be a better RVer, whether you're no time still researching, part-time taking cool trips of days, weeks, or months, or even a full-time traveler like myself. Appreciate you watching the video. Until we see you then, we say journey on and peace be with you.